Hello, I'm Yongbae. I'm from Hi-Fi Emergent YouTube channel. Next to me is Mr. Touraj Moghaddam from Vertere.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So when did you get to Korea?
Yesterday.
So when was the last time you've been to Seoul?
That's a long time ago. Good question. I would say probably 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe 20, 25 years ago.
That's Roksan days, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. You're the co-founder of Roksan.
Yes, I'm a friend of mine and I, we started Roksan in 1985.
Yes.
And basically I was there till technically 2008, but 2006 was when I actually left.
Okay.
And just a couple of years to finish off everything.
Okay.
And then it was the new journey.
All right.
For me.
Right. What was your first product?
I wasn't sure that I would stay in the audio industry.
Okay.
Because during the Roksan days,
Yes.
sometime in sort of like mid-late 90s, Vertere joined the Verite group.
Yeah.
And the Verite group at that time was Fane, Wolfdale, Mission, Cyrus, Quad, and then Vertere joined.
Right.
And also they had Premier drums.
Right.
You know. But after about 2.5 years when we were there, Verite, the NXT that they were working with and developing began to become much bigger than the rest of the companies, and it lent itself more to licensing than manufacturing.
Right.
So different companies, they bought out effectively. So Roksan came out of Verite and became Roksan again. You know, not that it wasn't Roksan, but not part of that group. During the time when we were at Verite, I had, obviously as a director of Roksan, design director, I had a service contract for like 2 years, 3 years that working there, etc. That is coming to the millennium.
Oh, millennium.
That was the end of 90s.
Okay.
And at that time, I started a company called TM Systems.
Okay.
And it wasn't to do anything with audio. In fact, the first product that I designed in there was a ratchet system for dental implants.
Oh, really?
You know, for somebody. The building that I had a room in that I put there for TM Systems because I didn't know after NXT what would happen. You know, they were the engineering company had a sub company making dental implants. So they actually manufactured the dental implants and everything, and they were using some kind of a ratchet. I think it was American or German. And it was a little bit too complex, and if they wanted to go backwards, they had to take it out, turn it around, put it in. So I designed something that you could click and then go one way and click and go the other way. So it just made life easier. And obviously it had some complexities. You had to make it so that it can sterilize easily. You know, so there shouldn't be any cavities inside that the sterilization can't get into, and so on and so forth. Anyway, this TM Systems was there. But when we left Verite, I did not use it. So it became like dormant. It was not, because I was busy with Vertere. So by the time it was around 2005 and I was developing the HB hand-built cables, and the HB stood for two things. One was hand-built, but effectively, in actuality, it meant high bandwidth. So harmonic bandwidth was much wider than before.
So it can be.
This I made under TM Systems. Because because Roksan didn't have the fund, you know, the funding was done by me and so on. So it was in TM Systems, and I didn't intend to sell it. I was using it for development purposes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I developed the last products that I did for Roksan, which was the TMS3, Artemis 7, the M Series 2 Caspian, and the Candy K2s, and so on and so forth. They were all developed, and the final testing and everything was done at home by using my HV cables. And some of the clients that afterwards were using the products, they when I was visiting them, and you know, they could be distributors, they could be manufacturers, they could be end users that they're using very high-end products and so on. When they saw what the hand-built cables were doing, they asked if they could have one. You know, so can they replace some of it? So that is how the hand-built cables started. But because it was not branded, then I put it on the TM Systems, and in fact, the very original ones, they had TM Systems on the cable. But that was the initial part, and everybody was asking me, "Are you doing turntables, electronics?" And I was thinking, I don't even know if because I may go doing other things with TM Systems, but the love of music and the fact that I knew I could improve a lot of things, it sort of was like a hook in your mouth, pulling you back in the audio direction, and I like it. It's not something that I don't like. There's a lot of challenges. It's very tiring. It's tough. It's not all sailing, you know. But at the same time, the end result is really irreplaceable. You can't, you know, once you're, what do they say? Once bitten, forever smitten. You know, you just, once you hear something in a certain way, you're thinking, well, I can't go back. You know, I need to keep going more forward. And the nice thing I would say probably is that you can never get to the end. You know, it's not something that you can say, okay, I've done everything. It's 100%. That's, you know. So
when did that event happen? I mean,
whenever you go to live music, or if you go to a studio and sit down and somebody is playing, or even you play yourself, you know, I mean, the experience is so much ahead of what we can get after the thing is recorded. Then from recording it goes to the studio, then it's mastered, then it's cut or put on tape or put on CD or whatever it is. And by the time it's reproduced back at the home, that's a long chain of events. And there is a lot of loss. And knowing the fact that there is not a single component in all of this, whether it is in the studio, whether it's in the pressing plant, or whether it's in your home or anywhere, every single one of these is effectively damaging what you started with. So the original signal becomes degraded, and therefore, whenever you have an experience that it is more downstream, then you know you've lost a lot. So the closer you get to the source, you then realize how much of it you're not actually getting. You know, and that was something that was the main drive behind everything, because you were trying to effectively damage control to minimize all the rubbish that was happening to the signal. And that meant you were getting closer and closer to the source material. And the closer you got, the more interaction you have with the music. It's almost like listening to something at home, then going to a concert, but being right at the back, and then slowly moving to the best seat in the house. By the time you get to that best seat, you're thinking, wow, I can hear everything. I can interact with everything.
Right.
I can choose what I listen to, you know.